The dust has settled, the engines have cooled down, but the impact of this year's WRC Safari Rally is still roaring strong. And guess what? Once again, KCB was on the driver's seat as the official financial partner, fueling the rally in ways that go beyond this iconic, legendary, world-renowned rally. Joining me today for a heart-to-heart conversation is KCB's Head of Integrated Marketing and Communications in Katha Mtungi. We will be talking about sponsorship, impact, the future of rallying, and maybe, just maybe, who her favorite driver is. So stick around because this is going to be an exciting conversation. Now, let's just get into it. Karibu sana Katha.
Thanks. Thank you, Eddie.
Now, KCB has been a driving force behind motorsports in Kenya for years. What keeps the bank committed to sponsoring the WRC Safari Rally, and how has this partnership shaped both the event and KCB's brand?
The reason why we keep on supporting the Safari Rally is, remember KCB got into the rally in 2003. We had just dropped off from WRC status back then. And it was really because of the quality of motorsports in the country. We supported motorsports. We were the only, I don't think you can say rally without thinking about KCB as a brand.
Indeed.
And we really drove that particular platform to the point where it was ready to go back into WRC status. So for us, it's like mothering a child and taking care of a child to the point where it actually grows and gets into this huge platform. And that is why we'll keep on being part of this. Motorsports is the number one sport in Kenya, just has a lot of following, a lot of engagement platforms. We've seen how motorsports has diversified across with the introduction of TT and other different disciplines. So there's still a lot of opportunity for engagement, and we'll keep on supporting it just to ensure that it remains a strong platform, not only for KCB, but for Kenya.
Exactly.
Seeing that it's a platform that is driving tourism, is driving the economy. We saw the amount of businesses that were active in Naivasha over the weekend. You can imagine the impact within Naivasha and that entire county. So it's something that is important for us, being able to catalyze activity in that manner.
Exactly. And of course, sponsorship is not just about putting a sticker on a car. How has KCB integrated its financial services into the Safari Rally to enhance the experience for the fans, for the rally, and also for local businesses? You've mentioned about the impact on businesses. How has this financial aspect been experienced within?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's beyond just branding. It's about what we can do to drive better commercialization. Over and above, I think one of the things we have done differently is that we actually have a promotion that's running along this rally.
The Revisha.
Yes.
KCB, you have a very interesting way. Whoever comes up with this, the year before was Gurumisha.
Yes.
This year is Revisha.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think there's that connection between how you communicate such campaigns.
Exactly. And I think that's the fun of doing campaigns like this.
Exactly.
Because then you're able to connect the reality on ground and the revving of the cars, which then fuels and gives more power to the car, but also how that can translate into somebody's wallet. So for us, it was Revisha na KCB, Revisha your wallet, and we positioned that around our gold savings account and allowing people to earn better interest rates on their deposits and just encouraging people to deposit. But over and above that, there's a lot that we've done to just connect this particular platform to business. So for instance, we've had teams walking through and ensuring all our business partners, merchants between Nairobi and Nakuru are set up on our payment tills, because people on ground will actually be spending a lot, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So they need good, solid payment platforms. So the KCB, Lipa na KCB till, our card POSs were actually distributed quite well. And the teams there received extra support because then you can imagine the volume of business in those particular areas. But over and above that, one of the things we're looking at and we've been doing is also driving support for Safari Rally, because then there's a lot of inflows that's coming in. There are a lot of transactions they are doing from Safari Rally Kenya. How are we enabling that through our corporate and our corporate banking teams? So there's quite a bit of support for us and opportunities for us to integrate our business solutions.
Yeah, of course. It's interesting to know that actually, not only being the official financial partner, you even give solutions to the local organizing committee, because yes, a lot of transactions. Imagine the local organizing committee is one humongous moving machine, and you can imagine what they have to deal with constantly on a daily basis. So definitely a solution that comes in handy. Now, Safari Rally is all about community sustainability for the long run. How has KCB used its platforms to create that positive change to align with the commitments from WRC, also Safari Rally Kenya?
Yeah, so there are actually three things that we've done. One is we've actually used this platform to really activate our tree planting exercise. Over this period, the plan was to plant 3,000 trees, which we've managed to do. We partnered with local schools. I think you attended some of them.
Yes, we attended the tree planting and the art competition, which I maybe will touch on a little bit later. And yes, I planted a tree.
Yeah.
Shamelessly, it was the first tree I planted in my life.
But then again,
these are the upside of when you're part of an amazing initiative such as this.
Yeah, so planting trees is big for the brand, just in terms of our contribution towards supporting climate action initiatives. So part of the big agenda is to plant more trees within the organization. But for this particular rally circuit, we put in a target of 3,000 trees, which we've achieved. The second thing was also waste management, and we work very closely with the Safari Rally Kenya team for that. You can imagine hundreds of thousands of people in Naivasha. You're in a conservancy, you're in a ranch. What happens to the garbage? For those who were within the KCB spaces, you actually noticed that we had different colored bins. They were all marked.
It's very
on how
strategic,
you could
and I think that it just helps that person to know where to dispose. And
exactly.
all that,
And we worked very closely with Safari Rally, who brought in marshals. So they would actually come and collect garbage.
These are dedicated marshals for the environment aspect for the event.
Yes,
Nice.
So they would come and collect, go and dispose, whatever trash in a much better way. And if you noticed, even as you are leaving Naivasha, coming back after the rally, there were actually people on the streets and on the roads cleaning up. So we really work with them to ensure that we leave the place as we found it.
Or even better than you found it.
Or even better, especially now that we are planting trees in a number of these areas.
Yes.
And the last thing is around the art competition that you witnessed 2 days ago. And that was really trying to get kids to recycle and use, a lot of that waste material to create their own version of cars. And I think that was quite an exciting thing that we did.
That was a creative idea, using art to be able to communicate to the children. And I can tell you the creativity levels I saw. Growing up, I remember the season for Safari Rally, we used to take hangers from the house, of course, hiding from mom and dad, not see you taking them, and then you create your rally cars. I witnessed something so interesting. They're now, because some of the competitors, the learners from all the schools within Naivasha and Nakuru, some of them are creating cars that had remotes. Some had, one had a car that could reverse, that could go forward, that could take corners. So it was just interesting and very encouraging to see they're using what they have, because it was about using also waste that they find, the plastic waste, sleepers, wire, whatever they found, and it was quite encouraging. Now let's move to a conversation that definitely excites anybody who hears KCB is part of the Safari Rally, and that is the fact that this year you doubled the entry of your elite rally team. Last year you had 2 rally drivers, Nikhil and Karan, top drivers. But this year you did something very interesting. Kavisi came back from his hiatus, but the bigger story was the inclusion of Tinashe, the youngest, I think, lady driver that we had in the Safari Rally. What inspired this expansion, and what does this mean for the future of rally? Because I know you're not just doing it for the KCB rally team. You're doing it to show the possibilities and what can be done when entities or corporates come to support drivers. It's not a very cheap sport for that matter.
It is, yes, definitely it is not a cheap sport. I think the total sponsorship to the drivers was at around 17 million. which we kind of split amongst the four.
Okay.
But remember, we've been with Rally since 2003.
20 plus
22,
years. I failed
22,
maths in school,
23
but
years.
yeah, it's 2 decades.
Yes, it's been a long time. And we've worked with a lot of local drivers. Our dream is to see more of them participating and actually participating at higher levels within WRC. And we've seen Karan doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
It's unfortunate his engine knocked.
It was a bad day in the office for this year. For him.
Nikhil did a fantastic job this year.
He made up for last year.
Yes, he did.
Nikhil had a horrible crash last year, and you could see how devastated he was.
He was.
But this year, you should have seen the smile on his face.
He's done a fantastic job. So you can imagine Karan coming back next year. He'll have all the psych.
Karan is competitive.
Extremely.
He's chilled, relaxed, but put him in that car together with Tosif.
Yeah.
He's something else.
So, and I really like his drive, his motivation. He's looking at how to get his car fixed. He wants to be ready for the next ARC competition. But bringing back Kavisi and then also onboarding Tinashe was important for us to also support a lot more local talent.
Exactly.
Because I think these are people who have what it takes. Tinashe easily in the next 2 years is going to be probably the hottest driver. You're asking me about my favorite, which is a difficult question to answer.
I think you've answered it, Shingo Pande, but it's okay.
The 4 we sponsor are my top.
Good.
But I think she's someone, we need to watch out for. And the support she has from her family is incredible.
Oh, it's amazing.
Kavisi is also a first generational driver, meaning he's not coming from a family where, motorsport was a big
family,
thing. Exactly.
Self, let me call it, he's self-made in terms of he's the first of his generation.
Yes. And we want to be part of that story. When we talk about being for people for better, it's things like this. So how do we walk this journey? It might not be them winning now, but in the next 2 or 3 years, we've actually built this partnership. We've actually supported them. We've walked through this journey with them.
Together.
And in 2-3 years, it's a different discussion. It's the same thing with Karan. This is the 3rd year, going to the 4th year. So those are things that we really are committed about. Partnerships for KCB. And I tell people, partnerships with the bank and partnerships with KCB is not a small thing, because we take it personally.
And seriously.
Yes,
and
because we want to drive. So that's why you won't see us going in and pick one driver today, pick another driver. So therefore, even as we think about who we need to partner with, this person also must have a vision of what it is that they want to do. And together, our plans, our visions can then sync, and we support each other and walk the journey.
So now Tinashe has just, together with her mom, has broken another record. And I think I'll be saying this until it's broken. She's still, and together with her mother, the only mom-daughter team that has now managed to finish the Safari Rally 3 times, 2003, 2004, and now 2005. And of course, this spells some excitement for them. What next for this dynamic duo? And will KCB factor in these amazing results from her to move forward with a partnership with her in the team?
Absolutely. We've just started. This is a journey. I'm really excited about what it'll unfold, and what we can do with them. For a brand like we have, I think even focus on women is a big priority. You've seen our proposition, Flame, female-led and made enterprises. So there's deliberate and intentional focus on women and how we can uplift and work with women.
Especially young, from that young, she's only 20?
She's 20.
So carrying
that...
that responsibility of maybe being the face of even Flame to representing the young women, you've just hit the right spot for that.
Yes, and they also represent something else that's important for us. KCB has been around for 127 years. Sorry, I had 29. Yes, 29. I think
it was in the quiz.
Yes, I remember. So 129 years. So meaning we've banked different generations. We've supported and worked with different generations over time. So being able to support Tinashe and Carol at the same time. These are two different generations.
Totally.
With the same desire to grow, to be the best. The outlook has been different. The experiences are going to be different.
Yeah.
We are really able to do that. So, over and above just supporting women, we're talking about generations and being relevant for all generations.
And how unique is this? Mother and daughter.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to reinforce on it. The mom, of course, she's been rallying and navigating for so many years. Now you have another generation coming in, but they're both in the same car.
Yep.
So that conversation it was a spot on selection to have to bring them on board. Not only for the growth of the sport and inspiring the young women out there, but also just to even inspire. I'm sure Carol is inspiring other, mother to daughter. Even having that conversation in the house. If Caroline and her daughter can do this, what can we do together?
It sparks a lot of conversation because
there's so much conversation
I think what they're doing and the reason they're doing what they're doing is centered on just the human truth that we all want to succeed. It doesn't matter whether you're 50 years old and you're 20 years old. Exactly. It doesn't matter. We all want the same thing. And then having a partner that actually believes in that, I think is just magic. It's just magic.
So, KCB has been, of course, at this game for so long. Rallying the economy. Did you see what I just did there? Rallying the economy. KCB has invested 209 million shillings this year. And it goes to very many aspects of the event. And what's the real economic impact of this event, both internationally and locally, for the communities?
It's huge. I think one of the biggest benefits and gains for us is opening up areas for tourism. So that's huge. The number of people who came in, even within East Africa, I think everybody must have seen a car with a Ugandan flag.
Yes, there were 6 buses fully branded. Yes. They didn't just hire buses from the bus stage. They actually had 6 buses, and you can see they were deliberate about it, branded and saying where they are going. Yes. They're going for Safari Rally.
Yes. And you can imagine all those people are coming to spend here. Yes. They're coming to see.
Those are just the buses. We have not talked about people, their private cars, and they were in their hundreds, at least for those I saw for the 3 days.
Yes. I actually know of a group of people who actually ride their bikes from Uganda. So it's amazing. We had customers coming in from Burundi, from Tanzania as well, which is amazing. Wow. And that's just in our small KCB space. So I'm trying to imagine all those visiting individuals coming in. The Safari Rally is the most watched circuit within WRC. Yes. So that exposure for the country is amazing. It's huge. So we're talking about impact within this particular rally period. You could say maybe a month around the rally. We're talking about impact after. There are people who have seen the good scenes, the good sights that we have, and those expected inflows are to come. So the impact is just not for the 3 days. It's much bigger.
You're seeing further.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. The road ahead. I don't know how it feels when you see the road ahead after all these years we've been rallying, supporting motorsports. So, looking into the future, how does KCB see its role in motorsports evolving? Because I'm sure there's been some change as, of course, leadership also changing in motorsports. You have to work with them. New rules coming in on how the sport is being run. But in your place as one of the key sponsors, how are you seeing KCB evolving within that space?
I think there's a huge opportunity in driving the local circuits, pretty much because you need to provide a lot more opportunities for local drivers who may not necessarily get into WRC next year. Yes. But that needs to be activated. So, our hope is that that is structured better, that it is up and running. It will require support and the opportunities, of course, to support that. So that then we get the local circuits to where they used to be. You remember back in the day, you'd have up to 40 drivers competing.
Yes, the entry was humongous.
It was huge.
Yeah.
I remember the prize givings used to
It would take
like
almost
2
We
hours.
used to MC with Sean, and
Yes,
it would,
yes.
because you have to go through 40. I've seen a national championship round that had
Yeah.
50.
50
And that's when it
entries.
was rich. It was, of course,
Exactly.
KCB was a sponsor. He
Yeah.
made things really possible. And I'll say this from the deepest part of my heart. KCB came to salvage motorsports in Kenya, because 2003 there was a lot of sad faces after, but people thought this is the end of rallying in Kenya, and then KCB showed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, when we're looking about leadership in sports, we're not just talking about experiences. We're talking about governance, proper governance,
accountability,
and accountability. And I think we've echoed that in a number of conversations.
Yes.
And even if you look at how we run our other sports, governance is a really important pillar, just in terms of driving a sustainable organization or a sustainable team. So we are, looking to see the local circuits opening up, and then see how to.
There's some renewed hope.
Support.
I can tell you from the grapevine, there's a lot of activity happening with people who are not ready to see this particular discipline die. Motorsports, I mean, it has everything. Autocross, and again, KCB has also been a good friend of autocross. You've sponsored that for actually longer than the Kenya National Rally Championship. So it just goes to show how committed, of course, the brand is to this discipline, motorsports for that matter. Now, the road, let's go beyond the rally. There's so much KCB is doing that maybe a lot of people don't know. Maybe KCB people remember just rallying. But KCB has invested quite extensively in football, rugby, volleyball, chess, and this is a serious investment. How has this shaped, of course, the brand and also the Kenyan sports economy?
Yes, we've, I think we've spent around 6 billion over the years.
This is across the
different
sports
disciplines.
Yeah.
Yes. So we do have a rugby team, chess team, a ladies volleyball team. They're actually traveling to Nigeria for the African Championships on Tuesday. And we have a football team. We also have an East African golf tour. So
and all these teams are active.
Yes.
In their respective leagues,
yes,
playing at the highest level of their leagues.
Absolutely. Our KPI is that we finish at a certain level.
Yes.
I have that in my scorecard.
If not done, there's some questions that need to be answered.
Very hard questions that come through.
Well done. Well done.
But for us, it's really, sports is important. Yes. It's the number one engagement platform for Kenyans. And we are in the top platforms. Yeah. When we look at our audiences, our customers, and remember, we're a mass brand, we are huge. So we support from corporate all the way to your micro businesses and individuals. We have a platform that connects with each and every person. And being able to show excellence in how we perform, in what it is that we do, I think we send the right message to customers. People want to be associated with good things. You don't want to be associated with a brand that's not doing well.
True.
And because these particular platforms and teams have been doing extremely well, then we get a great platform to engage with our audiences. And it is unique to KCB. It's one of the only brands that has actually supported sports for so many years, and I don't see us stopping anytime. Yeah,
I mean, that commitment is heavy. I think it's well thought out, and I also feel it's very strategic. I mean, you understand, opening that answer, you stated that sport is a very key, important element in all walks of life. And when a brand or an entity identifies that, then it away sort of aligns with many other things. Look at now, we mentioned Flame, the initiative for women. We have Tinashe connecting that conversation. Football, people will always talk about football. There's rugby right now, of course. Rugby, there's attention happening with the sevens. You have a team going for the championship in Nigeria.
Yes.
So there's something that I think I must commend KCB for seeing, because you just need to have a very unique understanding or a vision to be able to commit.
And remember, sports is also a livelihood.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I'm happy, with the new curriculum, there's actually emphasis on
it.
a pathway that that focuses on sports and development of sports. But we have all this, for instance, all our 4 teams, we're talking about 100 plus individuals who are actually on salary. So they're actually earning a living from something they really enjoy doing. So it's not just...
Can you imagine the impact from that
exactly.
one person,
Yes.
the family, how
Yeah.
the impact all the way down?
Yeah, and our sports teams are actually paid when every other KCB employee is paid. They're on payroll.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
so,
interesting.
so which is
They don't have
amazing.
their own schedule. It's
No?
as the banks are
When-
being sorted, so they're part of the family.
Exactly. They're part of the family. And if we can impact more,
Yes.
and you've impacted one player,
Yeah.
and when you sit down and hear the stories, they talk about through that
Yes.
opportunity, they're able to support their parents, they're able to
families,
support
immediate
themselves. The other thing we're doing also through our sports teams, and it's something we're working through our KCB Foundation, is provide scholarships for a number of them. Which is amazing, because then it means you can go and recruit in high school and then see how to transition these kids into whatever program. So if they're getting into university or they get into a Tujiajiri program, just to build additional skills.
Are there any players from the respective sports teams that work in KCB, or you've separated those two elements?
We
Like back in the
actually
day, we used to have corporates like Posta. I remember Posta had this boxing team called the Hit Squad. This is in the 90s, the 80s.
Yes.
You'd find the team members are actually staff
Within.
So they would work during the
Yes,
day,
yeah.
when they get a schedule that they need to prepare maybe for some. When that Hit Squad they went for Olympics, right? Way back. Like this is like in the days of Robert Wangila, the DK Kamau.
Oh, wow. Yes.
They were working for Posta.
Yeah.
And you find
Yeah.
there was that very nice synergy where they provide a job still as a sports person, and you're also earning something as a member of their team.
Of the team,
Would
yes.
that be? Do you have that in your...
We do have a few of them
cool.
who have actually joined the bank. So you'll find them in different teams. We have within our risk team, within IT. You'll find a number of them.
It's so uplifting to hear that, and I think this would be a good message even for corporates to see the possibilities of not only just having a team to go and compete, but the impact you have for those individuals, their families, and
Yes.
So this is a question that you are dreading. So I know we've just concluded the Safari Rally. Maybe outside the KCB, allow me to be calling them KCB Elite Rally Team. I find that name so bourgeois.
Yeah.
So who stands out for you as a favorite driver? I know you say all the 4 are your favorite teams, but is there a driver, both international, local, that you sometimes just peep the leaderboard and say, I'm following your favorite?
It is so interesting, and I will answer that in a different way. When you actually run in the rally and the activities around the rally, you barely watch the rally, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so I will...
You've just hepared it, but you've just done a kanini. But I've seen you on the ground together with your team, and I must say, KCB, and I'm not saying this because I have this collaboration with KCB, but you can see the passion and the commitment from the entire KCB team on the ground. And I think those are the spanners and the bolts that keeps everything moving and adjusting, because things are keep on adjusting and moving as we go. So I totally understand. You're deviating that
yes,
question.
I'm deviating. I actually thought I will that we will get to watch the power stage. It's the one I get to watch every time, and it was just next
to where you're set up.
Yes, but the wind in Hell's Gate decided to show us things.
It was an interesting weekend with the wind.
Yes, so we had a bit of
the wind overdid itself this weekend,
it
but
itself. Yes, it was racing with the cars.
Yeah, but again, I also, it just shows you the element of the nature of a tough weekend when you have to deal with so many things moving at the same time. So as I wrap this up, any shout outs to the teams, the stakeholders, rally enthusiasts who made this event a success for you? Because I'm sure you were sitting at a place where you could see what everybody is doing.
Yeah.
Here's your platform.
Yeah.
Imagine this is that program for, what was it called? Tuma Salam. Give them a shout.
Nitume salamu.
Yeah, just give a shout out, because I know
Yeah.
there are many people that
Yeah.
you're still saying thank you to,
Yes.
who also made this. There could be people in KCB, there could be other stakeholders, other partners that you'd like to give a shout out to.
Absolutely. I think, first of all, we never really thank our customers. The work that we did, the late nights, the prepping was actually
Things
for
that
the
people don't see.
KCB. Yeah. And they come and they wonder why you're walking around to fix things, but they're not seeing that. Them, they're having a good time.
You're okay in a days. You've been up from 3 o'clock in the morning, but things look okay and organized.
Everyone knows things are flowing well.
Yes.
But really thanking our customers for honoring our invitations.
Exactly.
For those who showed up. I think on Friday we had over 1,000 people. On the other 2 days, we easily had over 2,000 people on ground. And that's a huge, you never hear of setups for customers that are
and in a
they're only
remote,
small
in a remote area, not in town at a hotel. This is in Hell's Gate, in the middle of Hell's Gate.
So our customers from across the business, the corporate banking customers, retail, mortgage, personal banking customers, they all came in. And those who honored our invitation to the KCB Den, we really thank them for coming through. Our partners, I think we worked very well with a number of partners to deliver this. It's such a huge experience. You're not able to deliver it on your own. So partnerships with people like Coca-Cola and Java, really helped us, together with our vendors, really helped us kind of boost and improve our experience. And a big shout out to the brand experience team, my team. I think the synchrony together with our agencies, just doing what we did was beyond amazing.
I think what and Kathy is saying, they do this. They do the
yes.
So as I wrap this up, of course, I'm still excited about the Revisha and Feel the Raw with KCB, an amazing campaign. I'll let you just dive into that a little bit, just to remind guys, it's still running.
Yes.
I think it's on until the end of April.
End of April.
Yeah, just to maybe plug into it and just to remind guys that it's on.
Yeah, so the Revision KCB campaign has been running since December. We've had quite a number of winners. And for you to participate, you just need to open, and I hope Eddie, yours is...
Nico
the account is you're saving into your account,
so, Mimi Nico, I can win that piece of land. We shall look at
your So we have 2 prizes to still be, that are still there. Yes.
For the grand prize, I'm pushing it.
Yes. Well, there's...
I'll see you behind the tent.
You'll see me behind the tent.
Yes.
Yeah, there are terms and conditions that apply. Yes. So we have, for customers who are still saving into their gold savings account, Easter is coming. So there are a number of customers who are going to win a mbuzi, which is fantastic to celebrate with your family.
It is.
And the grand prize of land in Vipingo, courtesy of Centum Real Estates. When you're talking about how we're integrating business into these particular spots.
Exactly. It's such partnerships.
Centum is a developer with our mortgage team and a big partner for our mortgage team. And they worked with us to make this promotion actually work.
I've been to Vipingo, guys. That place is beautiful. And it's developing.
Yeah.
And I think it is very strategic in the sense that it's in an area that the main road is just being developed. They completed that bit.
Oh, okay.
But I'm plugging this in so that you know how I live in Mombasa. So I'm a bit familiar with that area. And believe me, any piece of land there, you get it now. Yeah. So this is your opportunity. In Vipingo, that's where the piece of land is, courtesy of Centum Real Estate, who are also partners in this campaign. And all looking forward to that. So there's also fuel. So that would be a nice combination. You win fuel and you win boozy, your Easter is sorted.
Yes. We actually did the fuel just before rally. So the fuel was for people to go down to
for the rally.
Yes.
So sasa ni mbuzi too.
Sasa ni mbuzi ya Easter and the piece of land.
Fuel, you'll sort yourselves out, but mbuzi iko. This is like a proper mbuzi live you will be given as in its uko fumetolewa shamba.
We will
it
help
has
you
everything.
Procure it.
It's not in pieces.
You can imagine someone in KCB moving to Akasoma in Loitok.
Do you know how many there? They've been given out.
I believe they're around 20. I think they're 20 and
It's something. I mean, and it goes. It's not really just about the winning. I think it's also developing that culture, the saving culture, which I think is the backbone of this.
Which is what is important
of this campaign.
Revisha your wallet.
Exactly.
Revisha your wallet. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What else can I ask you? I think I've asked you all the questions, and Katha, I'd just like to thank you. I know you've got a busy schedule. We've just come off the Safari Rally. You're already up and about, getting things moving. There's a lot happening ahead, but I can only say thank you for making time to be here so that we can have this conversation. We had this pre-podcast with the CEO of WRC Safari Rally Kenya, that is Charles Gashuri. It was very nice. And Charles is also passionate about the Safari Rally. So these two podcasts hopefully will just carry on through these conversations, this being sort of like a look back at the just concluded Safari Rally. Asante sana.
Right, thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. And this has been your KCB Safari Rally podcast, the second edition after the Safari Rally. I was having a conversation with the head of integrated marketing and communication at KCB, Nkatha Mutungi. Until next year, the Safari Rally we don't have the dates yet, but definitely looking forward to the next year event. We are hoping that we are going to renew or get a renewal of the license in the WRC. Every indication is saying that we will get it. And also the WRC and FIA really want it because, as you said, and we all know, it's like their jewel of the WRC calendar. So if I was WRC or FIA, I would not want to lose it. So we are crossing our fingers. And of course, it just gives more opportunity for KCB to continue with its amazing commitment to supporting motorsports and rallying in Kenya. Kwaherini, and see you guys next year.